What's good, YouTube? So I'm back with my Skystriker deck profile. I do have half a deck profile this time. I did get a lot of comments asking for the deck profile. The reason I didn't do it in the last video is because I'm still waiting for a few cards. I ordered them right when the cards were released a few weeks ago and they still haven't come. That's just how it is sometimes with TCG players. So I'm just gonna quickly go over the deck profile and let you know which cards are missing really quick. So we have 3 Ray, 1 Rose, very standard for Skystriker stuff. Then of course we have 3 Engage, mandatory. Speaking of cards that I'm missing, so I'm missing 2 Linkage, especially now with the new cards. You definitely want to max out on Linkage because it's such a good card to get into Skystriker A0. But right now, so we have 1. We can pretend that there's 2 more here because you definitely need to max out on those. Then we have Hornet Drones, soon to be off the ban list, almost guaranteed. Area 0, 1 Multi-Roll, 1 Afterburners, 1 Shark Cannon. Only 1 Limnus Gate. This is the other card that's missing. I do recommend running 2 of these. You could get away with 1, honestly. So that's the other card that I'm missing. So we're missing 2 Linkage and 1 Limnus Gate. Watch me still get comments asking where the other Limnus Gate and Linkage is. Anyway, so we have 3 Widow Anchor. I did recently take this deck to a locals here in Santa Barbara. I'm out of town at the moment. Didn't go to my normal locals, so I didn't know any of the players there, and I still managed to get first place with this deck profile, and then without running Forbidden Droplet. So I let my friend borrow my Tempai Dragon deck, which had my 3 Forbidden Droplets. So instead I decided to go with 3 Forbidden Chalice. And honestly, it was really good. I really liked it. Honestly, it's a poor man's version of Forbidden Droplet. Honestly, classic artwork, classic card. It was cool seeing it. And again, getting first place with budget options such as Forbidden Chalice was really cool. And honestly, with the deck, I'm really not even too comfortable with Skystriker. Felt good with the old version of this deck. However, with the new version, still getting used to like the lines and stuff. But that's pretty much it for the Skystriker stuff. Again, missing 2 Linkage and 1 Limnus Gate. Then we're running 3 Upstart Goblins, just 37 cards. Hustle just gets another spout in your graveyard. If you don't want to run this, even running Forbidden Chalice and Forbidden Droplet, I feel like that would be a good alternative as well. I don't know, it's really hard to figure out what the correct ratios are for this deck. Then we have another Skystriker Ray with Reinforcement of the Army, 2 Triple Tactics Thrust, and 1 Talents. We have Harpies, 1 Lightning Storm, and then we have Crossout Designator and Called by the Grave. Crossout and Called by for Droll and Lockbird because this deck loses hard to Droll, and Droll is everywhere at the moment. And since we are a going second deck, you definitely have to run the Fualos. Honestly, if I had the other Molcharmies, I don't even know the name of it, but the other blue one, I think, I'd probably run those as well. But that's it for the deck. It's a clean 40. I don't like running 3 Thrust. I feel like 2 Thrust is perfect. I feel like most decks are running 2 of them. And then 1 Talents, obviously we can only run 1. And then the Board Breakers, Lightning Storm, Harpy's Feather Duster. Just really strong spell cards. That's a clean 40. So the last card that is missing, we were running only 1 Skystriker A0. So I was able to win with only 1. Honestly, I feel like there was only 1 time where I felt like I really needed the other one because with Limnus Gate, we were able to put it back anyways. But yeah, I did order another one and I most likely will be running 2 just because the card is so strong. But that is the other card missing from the extra deck. Then we're running 3 Kagari, 2 Shizuku, 1 Kaina, 2 Zeke. We aren't running the other Link 2, I think it's Camila. Honestly, it's a decent card, but it really doesn't really do much for the deck, I feel like. Whereas Skystriker A0, you see it, it's mandatory, you have to put it in the deck. It makes the selling of the deck a lot better. When your opponent makes you go first, it's no longer a death sentence because you're able to get multiple interruptions with Skystriker A0 now. And one of those interruptions is Zeke. Zeke is just so much better than the other Link 2 because it's 2 monsters, including a Skystriker Ace monster. But either way, I honestly just like Zeke a lot more. 2 Hayate, Axis Code Talker, SP Little Knight, and Super Star Slayer Typhon Sky Crisis. So this is it. I only played with 14. I honestly had the expectation of going in and having my second Skystriker A0 come in by the time I went to the locals, but it didn't come in, and I honestly forgot I was running 14 cards. So it was 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, 14 cards, with the 15 card being Skystriker A0 for sure. I feel like the ratios were okay. You could honestly get away with cutting this and a Shizuku, and if you want to play a Charmer, or even putting in the other Link 2 Skystriker card. But with what we had, I feel like Limnus Gate being able to recycle cards now makes the deck so much better. Being able to put your engages back into your deck and then your extra deck monsters back into your extra deck, really cool. Gives the deck a form of recursion, and then obviously Star Slayer and Axis Code and SP Little Knight are just great going second cards. So that's it for the extra deck. So now I'm going to show you what happens if we drew Skystriker Ace Ray as our starter and then 4 other cards that were non-engine. So we'd probably go ahead, normal summon our Skystriker Ace Ray, then Skystriker Ray can then go into our Shizuku, and then we would just go to the end phase. Very similar to the Rose play, except this time we are going to have another copy of Ray in our graveyard for recursion and defense as well. So during the end phase, we can go ahead, activate Shizuku's effect. That's going to grab us our linkage from our deck to our hand. And then during the end phase again, we can go ahead, use linkage, sending off our Shizuku, and that's going to go into our Skystriker Ace 0. Then we can go ahead, use Skystriker Ace 0 effect to grab us our new Skystriker Limnus Gate. Limnus Gate is going to go ahead, go to our hand. Then we can go ahead, since it's a quick play spell, go ahead and put our linkage and then our Shizuku back into our extra deck and our deck respectively. That's pretty much just to put our Limnus Gate into our graveyard. So we have a Ray in our graveyard and a Limnus Gate, and then we have Ace 0 on our field. So we have some defense right here. This is obviously going to attribute itself on our opponent's turn, and then we had 4 other cards. Obviously this is if we went first. Maybe our opponent made us go first. Maybe not the best cards to choose right here. Maybe we had Lightning Storm, Regeki, Harpy's Feather Duster, cards like that. So honestly these can be any 4 random cards. They could even be hand traps, honestly. But again, this is what happens if we just drew Ray as our starter. So now we're going to go ahead, pass to our opponent. Then on our opponent's turn, we can go ahead, use its quick effect and bounce itself. Special summon our Rose and our Ray, and then that would go ahead and pop one of their opponent's cards. Then we're going to obviously wait for our opponents to do some other stuff. Then we can go ahead, use Ray's effect to bounce itself and special summon our Kaina. Kaina would hopefully target one of their big-bodied monsters with big attack. That monster can no longer attack for this turn. Then since a Skystriker Ace monster was special summoned, we can go ahead, activate Limnus Gate from our graveyard, banishing itself to go ahead and link these 2 off into our Zeke. So now Zeke would go ahead and banish another card. So we get a pop, a banish. Kaina was able to make sure one of their monsters was unable to attack for this turn. And then we still have Skystriker Ray inside of the graveyard, which could then activate and then special summon itself if something happened to our Zeke, just for some extra defense. So that's pretty much it. It's very similar to the Rose stuff. Nothing too crazy, honestly. If there is a better line, feel free to let me know. So far, I haven't done too much testing with this deck. Again, my knowledge of this deck is pretty much what it was 5-7 years ago when I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! So far from a master at the new stuff. Honestly, the reason that inspired me to make all these videos for Skystriker, you would think that there'd be more videos on YouTube for the new Skystriker stuff. However, when I Googled or YouTubed Skystriker, new support, combos, test hands, there's honestly nothing that I could find. I think there's one video I found with a guy using a bunch of fake cards. Yeah, then a bunch of deck profiles, but nothing really showing you how to play the game. I think there was some like non-speaking ones as well, but I really honestly can't really learn from visually watching. I feel like, especially if you don't know what the deck does, watching what the cards are just kind of going back and forth, I feel like I need someone to kind of explain and break down what exactly they're doing. But again, it was really hard to kind of learn what these cards do, aside from just kind of testing them myself. So if you guys know better lines, feel free. We can collaborate. If you guys can write them down, I can even make a video showing what the lines are. I did have someone on my last video kind of breaking down some better lines that I could have done in that video as well. But again, comment the lines and you can help me make some content for Skystriker. But that is what happens if we just had Ray. If you guys want to see, I think I can just do another. I just realized we have another thing we could do without doing all the new stuff. You pretty much just go, if you were forced to go first, go into Ray. Ray can then bounce itself, and then that would go into our Ace 0. And instead of doing the Limnus Gate route, you can just do the simple old school Widow Anchor route, plus the other 4 cards you had in your hand. Then you would just go ahead and set Widow Anchor. So then you would pass turn to your opponent, and then you would have 4 other cards in your hand. You'd most likely want to use Widow Anchor first before you do the Ace 0 effect, just because you won't be able to use Widow Anchor afterwards. So you'd go ahead, negate something, and then afterwards you'd go ahead, tribute your Ace 0, special summon these 2, and then you'd go ahead and pop a card, and then you have 2 monsters on board. So that's pretty much another route you can go with Ray, where you get a negate and a pop. Again, nothing too crazy, but also not too bad as well. But I think that's all all I got for you guys today. Again, if you guys want to see any more test hands or any recommendations you guys have of what I can do for the deck, again, I did not see many Skystriker videos on YouTube. If you guys know any, let me know as well. I'd like to learn a few more combos if I can. It's kind of hard to show test hands and stuff with Skystriker because it's meant to break boards. So maybe that's why, honestly, that nobody's really doing Skystriker content. But if you guys have any recommendations, leave them in the comments and I'll see what I can do because I'm trying to cook up more Skystriker stuff. But yeah, again, that's all I got for you guys today. I'll catch you guys in the next video.